Everyone, it's Ollie, and I am back with another Top 5 Wednesdays video for you all. This week, for the 10th of February 2016, is Top 5 Books You Were Spoiled For. Now, this is a warning that there will be spoilers. I will try to sort of generally talk about things so that there's not a lot of information, but enough so that the people who have read the books will understand what I mean. So hopefully it won't be too bad in terms of spoilers, but there are most likely going to be some. I'd also like to note that 4 out of 5 of these books are finales to series or trilogies or what have you, because, you tend to get spoiled the most for last books, I find. Number 5. My number 5 book that I was spoiled for was City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. Currently, it is the only book that I do not own. I have read it. I just don't own a copy of it yet. I've been trying to find the original edition of it, and it's hard, especially when it's not in stores around you, and there's only so many online, and then that takes, getting a prepaid card and all this nonsense anyway. But I wasn't really spoiled for this book. More of, I sort of already heard about the sort of feel that the book was going to have, and a lot of the stuff I sort of anticipated myself, so I don't know if you could count that spoilers or not. Number 4. My number 4 spoiled book is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, and this is the only book in this top 5 that is not a final book in a series or a trilogy. The thing with The Hunger Games is I started reading them quite a bit after people got into them, so I knew about things like Rue dying and stuff, just sort of a lot of what was going to happen, not all of it. I still really enjoyed this book, but there were some things that I wasn't surprised to hear about. And the experience probably would have been so much better if I hadn't known anything going in. But regardless, still a good book. Still a good series. Number 3. My number 3 spoiled book is Breaking Dawn by Stephenie Meyer. Pretty much all of the things about this book, the big things, particularly about Renesmee, I was spoiled for it. I can't remember how, but I remember being spoiled for it, or just hearing about it vaguely before I got to this book in the series. I mean, it didn't really help my view on the book, but it didn't destroy the process of reading the book either. There were a lot of parts that were pretty slow and pretty drawn out unnecessarily, and it was a little bit hard for me to get through that, but other than that, I liked it. I didn't like it as much as the others, but, finale's a finale, I guess. Number 2. My number 2 book that I was spoiled for is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling. Honestly, all of the deaths in this book, I, heard about. Not all of them, but quite a few. I heard about Tonks and Lupin, I believe. And going in, I knew that there was going to be a lot of deaths. So I do technically count that as a spoiler, but yeah, other than that, a lot of the deaths that I didn't know about were obviously a surprise to me and a shock. And yeah, but this was quite a finale to an amazing book series, I have to say. I guess a sort of honorable mention at this point is Half Blood Prince in the same series, um, because of the whole Snape killed Dumbledore fiasco that happened before I read the book. So I knew that was going to happen, but that's a pretty infamous spoiler in the Harry Potter community. Number one. My number one book that was spoiled for me was Allegiant by Veronica Roth, third and final book in the Divergent trilogy. And, well, I think all of us who have read this series know what the big sort of thing that happened was, and needless to say, I was spoiled for it because I didn't get into Divergent until quite a bit later, the same as quite a bit of other series, but it must have been on Tumblr or some other social media that I heard about, um, the big thing that happened at the end of this book. And honestly, having, like, slowly losing my sympathy for the character in the books, like, as the books progressed, I sort of liked this character less and less. And I I cried a little bit. You have to cry a little bit at the deaths, but at the end of it, I was shocked because I was like, why did they have to do that? Why was all this necessary? Um, but eventually I was like, well, I'm not too terribly broken up about this. It wasn't my favorite of the series, obviously. I like the first one better. Um, but, what are you gonna do? So, yes, that was my top 5 books that were spoiled for me. And I've been better with trying to stay away with spoilers, since I've been on the the bookler sort of side of Tumblr. I haven't seen a lot, luckily. Um, I've seen a few things here and there, but they haven't really been spoilers, really, in a way. So, yeah, I will be back next week for another Top 5 Wednesdays video, and I will see you all then. Bye.